Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Western Ontario Super Hockey League podcast. I, of course, am Andrew Rogers and the host of the podcast. Great to be back with you guys once again after my week hiatus last week. Apologies once again. I know put out a statement there. WOSHL Hockey was nice enough to share that on social media. Basically, yeah, it was a rough week for me, and I was unable to make it happen. And like I said, I apologize for that. But back and ready to go here as we gear up for the last little bit here. It's a month and a half to go until the season finale on February 26th, and then playoffs will begin. Boy, it's going to be a lot of fun as the playoff races are intensifying. Those top four slots, my goodness. You got Tilbury with 32, Stratford 28, Tillsonburg 26, Alora 26, Strathroy in fifth place with 20. Not going to be a good first round matchup, no question. Any team is not going to be a good round matchup, that's for sure. But the playoff matchups will be lit. There's no question about that. It's going to be so much fun to watch. We're getting into too much though already. But yeah, like I said, it's great to be back with you guys. Here on the podcast, sponsored by Sleeman Breweries as always. So we really appreciate their support in the podcast. Got a fresh look, fresh face, and all that sort of stuff. And I'm ready and raring to go this week. We have Travis Winkworth of the Tilbury Bluebirds as well on the podcast this week. It's great. It's going to be great to have a conversation with him, and we'll get to that in a little while. There were 7 games this past week, and we have highlights from all of those games. It's been absolutely wonderful for that. Want to give a shout out also to a couple guys that are helping out with different games and streaming, doing the play-by-play. I know myself and Brian Hawley, we cover the Stratford games, and that's always a blast. It's so much fun working with Brian. I really appreciate him on all levels, and we really have a great time together. We have a lot of chemistry, and it's a great team that we have with him and I really do appreciate him. And I just wanted to take a second to acknowledge that partnership, and I really appreciate the work he does and his patience with me. Also want to give a shout out to Gary Patterson. He is out in Tilbury doing the play-by-play out there, and he's doing a wonderful job for the Tilbury Bluebirds. His calls are excellent, and it's really great to listen to him call the games and how passionate he gets. So definitely shout out to him as well. And then my final shout out is for Tillsonburg with Gavin Michaels and John Delaney. So Gavin Michaels is the man who does the play-by-play, and then John Delaney did the color commentating for the Tillsonburg Thunder, and they were outstanding. So thank you to those gentlemen for their help and hard work. Also want to acknowledge anyone behind the scenes when it comes to WOSHL hockey, volunteers, people who are at the game, people who are making things happen. This league doesn't operate without you. And, from my point of view, from my opinion, I definitely appreciate all the hard work that goes into it. You could definitely see that. I appreciate people that come work the camera. I appreciate people that work the streaming, do the streaming. I know it's a thankless job, but I'm definitely saying thank you for all your hard work to this point in the season. We've had a great year in terms of the streaming. Everything has gone for the most part smoothly to this point. I think we're at a point now, come playoff time, it's going to be rampant and ratchety and everything else, but we're going to have the streaming available in all the buildings for all the playoff games. So that is the point of the regular season, is to try and work out all those last minute kinks and bugs and fixes and everything else. And we'll be ready to go come playoff time. You can bet on that. But yeah, like I said, guys, we had 7 games this past weekend. We have highlights from all of those. Let's get to those now without further ado.
We've got a Championship Series rematch in our Western Ontario Super Hockey League Game of the Week. The Alora Rocks on home ice Friday night, taking on the Tillsonburg Thunder. Opening period, Brett McKinnell trying to chase it down for Alora, and it's a collision with Matt Sugarot. No penalties on the play. The puck stays out, and we remain scoreless. Under a minute later, the Rocks strike on this play. Steve Dole back to Spencer Gourlay, and he rips it in. Gourlay buries his 11th of the season. Alora's up 1-0. Second period, more Rocks offense. Sean Pickering finding space, and it's a quick release for the goal. Pickering extending the lead. He makes it 2-0 with his 4th of the season. Back come the Thunder 36 seconds later. Jamie McQueen to Mitch Green, and he gets Tillsonburg on the board. That's number 9 for Green. The Thunder now trailing 2-1. A few minutes later, the Rocks win the face-off. Zach Cameron grabs it, fires and scores. Nice shot from Cameron for his 11th of the season. He restores the 2-goal advantage. Still in the second, we've got a scrap. Matt Weston for the Thunder and Joey Heath for Alora dropping the mitts. Both players getting major penalties for fighting. They head off to the penalty box. Then we've got a beauty save from Rocks goalie Colin Dunn. He stops Jake Brown on the break. Alora's up 3-1 after 2 periods. Let's move to the third, and it's another good opportunity for Jake Brown. Once again, Colin Dunn with a big stop. He denies Brown, keeping it a 2-goal game. Back the other way, how about this goal from the captain? Spencer Gourlay's dancing in, and he puts it in. That's his 2nd goal of the night. He makes it 4-1 for the Rocks. And a little later, this is Sean Pickering with a break. He comes in and makes no mistake. Pickering seals it for Alora. They pick up a huge win on home ice. The Rocks over the Thunder. 5-1 is the final at the Alora Community Center.
Starting in goal for Stratford, Darren Smith, and starting in goal for Alvinston, number 35, Nolan DeConing, and we are underway here in Stratford. Mitch sends the puck in, but Stratford's going to get it, and they're going to get an early 2-on-1 here. It's Robbins with Brulot going to the net, scores! Graham Brulot. And how about that? As you said, Brian, almost on cue, Graham Brulot finishes the beauty feed from Ray Robbins, and it's 1-0 Stratford.
Puck in the corner. Alvinston trying to get that breakaway pass in alone, shoots, scores! Avery Antone got away early. Stratford had a player trapped below. Beautiful pass, landed it right on the tape, got Antone on the gallop.
A lot of good contests, and this year they've done the same. Oh, Michigan attempt from Brody Smith. Unreal. I can't believe we just saw that. And now the puck is out. Look out. Antone's breaking. Oh, he didn't get the pass across. Good play, though, by Spezial to get there and cut that off.
Shot. I don't understand why they are pinching so aggressively. Thank you.
Hey, you do it for me, I'm going to do it for you. Into the middle, scores Brulot. One-timer beats the Koning on the blocker hand side. Stratford takes the lead back. It's 2-1. Myers, oh, that was deflected just wide. Good play in front by Ray Robbins to get a stick on that puck. Casey again throws it into the corner. It's out front. Stokes! Oh, wow, what a goal! Oh, wow! Did you see that?
What a set of hands. How did he manage that?
The pad of Smith dangerously in front. Winchester was there waiting. Here's a shot. Scores! Brody Smith. That's a dagger and a half if you ask me. But a massive Stratford goal extends their lead. It's 4-1. Had the shot, but he towed it, or heeled it, I guess. Oh, off the post, they score! Alvinston puts it behind Darren Smith. I think it's 28, or who scored? Did you see? Or 93.
I think it was Carson Perry that put the rebound in.
Giveaway, O'Brien settles it down. Oh, off the post! Oh, off the post. Went Sean O'Brien. So close. In across the line, here they come! Off the crossbar! Oh, wow! Post at one end on the empty net and a crossbar on the other. I love it. He's only got 3 on the season, which is very Sean O'Brien unlike, right? So this one's down the ice. 35 seconds to go. Winkworth got it in behind his own net. This one's ahead. It's going to be picked off. Shot! Oh! Intercepted by Alvinston. Now it's a matter of defending the empty net. I don't know if Stratford's going to be able to bag one on the empty net or not. Maybe Smith will try it. Oh, he does! Oh, it's picked off, they score! Oh, man. It came down to the wire, didn't it? Oh, man, what a hockey game here in Stratford this afternoon. And Stratford Fighting Irish survive, and they win it by a score of 4-3, improving their record to 13-3. They now, for the time being, sit alone in second place.
We get ready to go with tonight's event. The Bluebirds wearing their home whites with their baby blue trim, the dark blue pants. And we got the red and black in there as well. Whereas the Jets sporting their road blacks with the bright orange bands out of the Philadelphia Flyers colors. Denby feathers it up through for Van Teeling. Van Teeling races up. Van Teeling, quick shot, Diamond with a save. And Denby flies in, throws a little snow in the face of Diamond. But he maintained control of the puck here. 1:23 left in the power play. 2:03 in the period, still a scoreless tie between the Bluebirds and the Jets. Right out, and Paula, check that. Hillier was all alone on the weak side, but now breaking up the ice. Here they come. It's Crevier. Staring, races up the ice. Crevier, quick shot, scores! Crevier took the pass from Roth just as teams went back to even strength. So Crevier puts the Bluebirds up 1-0 of the Tilbury zone. McNeil carries it in for the Jets. Broken up. Grambois comes the other way. Grambois moves up, fires it cross ice. And great job by Percy to stay on side of that one. Quickly in front of that quick shot. Big save, scores! As stepping up is Brinnick to tie things up. Here comes Roth. Roth smacks it up. Back it goes. Chevalier. Now to Roth. Roth. Chagrinsa. Denemy. Denemy. Short side. Quick shot. Scores! Play once again. Is diving up is Weber. And picking up is Denemy. Denemy loses control of the puck. Weber pitches in. Back the other way. Here they come. Up the ice. Chevalier loses control of the puck. Comes to McNeil. McNeil all alone. Nice shot. Scores! 5-hole on Polidori. As action starting to get a little bit rugged out here. Going to take the draw. Mandarelli takes it for the Strathroy. Back to the point. Denemy. Denemy. Quick snap. Just scores! Dylan Denemy to shove behind the net. Arvi, Sean Arvi, up the ice. Races up the ice. Arvi puts it back to the blue line. Mandalari puts it on traffic. Just scores! A 4-on-4 hockey as it was tipped in front by Milner. Nice goal to tie things up here for the Jets. A couple of old franchises, folks. Tilbury and Strathroy dating back into the 60s and 70s. And turned and dumped in. Crevier. Crevier leaves it for Van Teeling. Van Teeling to Geldhart. Geldhart hammers it around the wall. Crevier behind the net. Steps up to Gretzky's office. How's it look? Dresses and scores! Ryan Cravat took the pass from Crevier. For Hillier, 3-on-1. Hillier races up. Tries to get it through for Mandalari. Now Hillier centers a quick shot. Scores! As they tie it up. Cravat to Denemy. Goes cross ice. And a bouncing puck. And coming back in is Hillier. Hillier centers it in front of this puck. They score! As that hit the stick of Geldhart and bounced in to give the Strathroy a 5-4 lead here. Looking to get it back to Chagrinsa. Now back. Denemy. Denemy puts it through traffic. Loose puck. They scramble for it off the side of the net. Rob battles it. And the net is knocked off the moorings once again by Diamond. He's done that a couple of times tonight to kill some time off the clock and kill momentum. An old goaltender trick with 3.1 seconds left. So basically this is going to be one of those spots where it's going to be a one-shot deal. Denemy set to take the draw. Takes a quick shot away. Rebound. They scramble for it. And turning with his Winkworth shoots the puck and blocked. And Strathroy has come out with a 5-4 win out of this one. Hard-fought battle.
Captain Mike Redbury will be centering the first line with McQueen and Brown. Here we go. Gillard shoots the puck in. It's in front of the net. It scores! Tillsonburg get the first goal as Gillard gets the goal. Number 11 tries to deflect it. Here come the Thunder. Out in front, there's a shot. Scores! The Tillsonburg Thunder. Assist to Weston. To the point. There's a shot. Another save by Matt. And it's cleared. It's 2-on-1. Puck is passed. Shoots. Great chance by the Thunder. And here come the Lakers. They cross the zone. There's a shot. Taken by Jameson. And brought out. Fitzmaurice had the puck. Shoots it out. Scores! Shoots it over to Abraham. Sent to the point. Kept in there by Langridge. There's a shot.
Whoa.
And it's a goal. It was over the Matt's shoulder.
That was an excellent shot.
Brown has the puck. Intercepted. Puck's in front. Zone is cleared, and now it's a race for the puck. There's a shot. Scores! Puck was intercepted. Great shot. Oh, just missed it. Intercepted. Kept in by the Thunder. Abraham shoots it in the corner. There's a shot. Scores! Mitchell Fitzmaurice. As Abraham had the shot from the point. The Lakers now bring it in. And shoot it into the Thunder zone. We are in the third period. Ratchford is there with Abraham. Sent into the zone. Across the ice. There's a shot. Nice save by Moriani. They bring it into the zone. They're going for there's a shot. Scores! The Lakers. The player was tied up and then got the puck. Sent into the Lakers zone. Taken by Morani. Shot in the zone. They're trying to get close. Here's a shot. Just wide. As Schmidt almost tied the game. Weston has the puck. Brings it in. He's looking for someone. There's a shot. Scores! Picked up there by Tapsell. Over to Gildard. Out front. Shoots. Scores! I think Fitzmaurice
Nice play by Tapsell to set up Fitzmaurice for that goal.
Is out forward for a moment. Out front. Shoots. Scores! And it's Ratchford.
Was McQueen that was set up by Redbury on that one.
Look at the point. Doyle has it. Shoots. Deflection. Oh! So close as Justin Chang had a chance at it. And now there's a 2-on-1. Here come the Thunder. There's a shot. Scores!
Nice pass by Brown to set up Weston on that one.
Has the puck. 1 minute left in the third period. It's passed up to Brown. Brown. Redbury scores!
Over. Is that for a second? Yeah, but one thing, Gavin, the Lakers did not go away quietly tonight. They were competing right to the last second.
Now the Lakers, you know, it says 9-3, but the game was a lot closer than that.
Let's go to Center 2000 and Aaron Blitz hosting the defending Sleeman Cup champion Alora Rocks. Pick things up first period, just past the 4-minute mark. Luke Holzer's going to center the puck out front. Number 65, Ty Campbell has the tap in for his 4th goal of the season. Rocks lead 1-0. Nearing the halfway point of the first, Blitz respond. Benny Barisha's initial shot is stopped, but number 15, Jacob Colson, has his first. It's tied at 1. Less than a minute later, Rocks take the lead back. Turnover in the Blitz zone, and it's Luke Holzer snapping it past Blitz netminder Braden Kelso. Rocks lead it 2-1. 45 seconds later, and we get some rough stuff here between Zach Cameron and Aaron Blitz's James Maunder. Maunder would display his unhappiness with the officials, leading to 34 minutes in penalties. His night was done early. Under 7 to go, Rocks on the man advantage. Point shot here from Nicholas Boehmer is going to be tipped in nicely in front by Chad Heron. That's his 18th goal of the season. Rocks lead at 3-1. Blitz respond a minute later. This time, assistant captain Jacob Miller is going to circle out in front. His shot's going to beat Rocks netminder Anthony Marshall. That cuts the Rocks lead to 3-2 heading to the first intermission. And it would also be Marshall's where Marshall's night ends as he's replaced by Colin Dunn to start the second. Second period now, just past the 4-minute mark. Blitz on the power play. Watch this gorgeous pass from Colson out front to Chris Prejet. He has his 7th of the season. We're tied at 3. Not long after, Rocks now on the man advantage. It's going to be Steve Dole who puts it past Kelso. The power play goal restores the Rocks lead. It's 4-3 heading to the third. Third period now, Blitz power play, but it's the Rocks who take advantage. Zach Cameron on the breakaway makes no mistake for his 12th of the year. It's 5-3 Alora. 5 minutes later, Rocks on the power play. Tons of pressure in the Blitz zone. Shot from Steve Dole here will be redirected in by Chad Heron. His 2nd of the night, 19th of the season. It's 6-3 Alora. Less than 2 to play, Alora's on the power play once again, capping off their excellent special teams night. Initial shot from the line is blocked, but Yanni Skaropoulos finishes the feed from Luke Holzer. That puts Alora up 7-3, and that's how this one ends. Rocks improve their record to 12-4-2, while the Blitz fall to 3-12-1. It's the Plattsville Lakers hosting the Stratford Fighting Irish. Due to streaming issues here in Plattsville, pick things up with the Lakers up 3-1 in the second. They add to it here. Lakers 2-on-1, it's Hunter Dubecki keeping and firing it past netminder Zach Weir. Shorthanded goal, 4-1, Lakers lead. Less than 6 to play in the period, Irish down 3, trying to get something going. Brandon Spezial throws it ahead to Dylan Buchholz. He snipes it past Frank Bowl of the Lakers, cuts the lead in half. It's 4-2 Plattsville heading to the third. Third period now, less than 2 minutes in. Irish pressing on the power play. They work it around, putting tons of pressure on the Lakers. And eventually it's number 14, Mitch Casey. And he's going to poke in the loose puck. His 6th of the season. Now it's 4-3 Plattsville. Time running down in the third, less than 4 to play, and it's electric Ray Robbins, the Irish captain, stealing the puck in the Lakers zone. He goes top shelf glove side over Bowl, and that ties the game at 4s, as this game will require overtime. They play for the extra point. Stratford with the first good chance here in overtime, but Bowl is equal to the task. Later on in the extra frame, Lakers with the chance of their own, but it stays out. We're equal to the task there. The two teams go back and forth trying to decide a winner. And with time running down in the 3-on-3 portion of overtime, the Irish complete the comeback. Puck is going to find the stick of Cooper Leach, and he's going to score his 10th of the season, a bottle popper, and the Irish defeat the Lakers 5-4. Stratford improves to 14-3-0 on the season, while the Lakers fall to 5-13-1. Our final highlight, a Sunday evening tilt from the Tilbury Arena. The Alvinston Killer Bees squaring off against the Tilbury Bluebirds for the 6th and final time in the regular season. Bluebirds have won all 5 meetings thus far and have outscored the Bees 36-10 in those contests. Bluebirds wasting no time getting started in this one. Turnover in the Bees zone. It's Captain Dylan Denemy in the slot, firing the puck past Spencer Robertson. That's his 26th of the season. It's 1-0 Tilbury. Still in the first, 6 minutes later, it's going to be Bluebirds defenseman Cole Chevalier. His shot from the sideboards finds a way through Robertson untouched. His 6th of the season stretches the Bluebirds' lead. It's 2-0. Under 6 to play in the period now, and the Alvinston Killer Bees catch a break. It's Marquis Montes throwing it across to Kair Cumming. That's his 2nd goal of the season. Bluebirds take a 2-1 lead into the first intermission. Second period, minute and a half into the frame. Odd man rush for the Bluebirds. Puck is going to come to Travis Winkworth. He goes blocker side on Robertson for his 12th of the season. Bluebirds lead is 2. It's 3-1. Nearing the halfway point of the frame, Bluebirds on the rush. It's Ryan Cravatin with the beauty feed cross crease to Tyler Lawrence. He converts it, and that stretches the lead to 4-1 for Tilbury heading into the third period. Late in the third, we get some rough stuff from the two teams. Adam Hughes of the Bluebirds and Kane Johnson of the Killer Bees drop the mitts. Their night is done alongside Brendan Ritchie of the Killer Bees. We remain 4-1. Tilbury adds a few more before the end of this game. First, it's a loose puck that'll find the tape of Austin Jennings. That's his 4th of the season and makes it 5-1. And then with 19 seconds remaining, off the face-off win, it's Winkworth once again. His 13th of the season caps the scoring in this one. Tilbury continues to hold that number 1 seed. They are 16-3 on the season, while the Bees drop their 6th in a row. They fall to 4-14-1. Final in this one, 6-1, Tilbury.
So what a beauty! There's lots of good games there, and lots to go over. We'll look at our standings first, though, and as you can see, we have 5 teams that have clinched playoff spots, including now the Strathroy Jets. So Tilbury leads 32 points. They have 5 games remaining. They've played 2 more than Stratford, the second place team, who trail them by 4 points with 28. Tillsonburg and Alora 2 behind. Tillsonburg has played a league low 15 games. They have a lot of games left, but they are 13-2. Their win percentage, their win percentage is the highest in WOSHL, but they sit in third with 26 points. They're tied with Alora, but they've played 3 less games. Strathroy with 26 behind Alora, looking like it'd be a dogfight for them to leapfrog those teams. But if they can go on a heater, anything can happen. But they sit in 5th with 20. Plattsville, 19 games played, 11 points for them, 5-13-1 after the overtime point that they got against Stratford over the weekend on Sunday. Alvinston, losers of 6 in a row. Again, not the ideal time to go on a losing streak, but still some games left there, 5 games left on the schedule for them. Seeding is everything. If they can maybe get into that 6th spot, It could really change some things for them. But currently they sit in 7th, 2 points better than the Aaron Blitz. The Blitz and the Delhi Flames, that matchup for 8th and the final spot in the playoffs is up for grabs, still very much up for grabs. Aaron has played one less game than Delhi. Delhi's lost 10 in a row. They need to turn things around and maybe try and string a couple victories together here while hoping that the Aaron Blitz fall. But we'll see what happens. Aaron with 8 games left, Delhi with 7. And yes, let's switch gears here now as we take a look at our leading scores. And I gotta give a big shout out to my boy, friend of the show from the Tilbury Bluebirds, Dylan Denemy. He leads the league with 47 points, 26 goals. He is tied for first in that category with Kevin Hugh from Plattsville, and 21 assists for 47 points. Vyacheslav Chagrincev, his teammate, has 25 assists. That tops all in WOSHL. 2 better than Ray Robbins of Stratford, but he trails to Denemy with 42 points, 5 less than him in the leading scorer category. Chad Herron having an unbelievable. He's continuing to be unbelievable for Alora. 38 points. He sits in 3rd. Kevin Hugh and Travis Winkworth, the guests on the podcast today, 33 points apiece there. Graham Brulot, Ray Robbins, co-leaders on Stratford. Brulot with 19 and 13, Ray Robbins with 9 and 23, both have 32. Jamin McQueen in 13 games only has 28 points. Pretty impressive stuff there. In Tillsonburg, Spencer Gorley and Mitch Van Teeling rounded the top 10, 27 points apiece for them. Moving over to the goalies, we got to give a shout out to the goalies. Ryan Polidori, 14 and 3 on the year. He has reached the 1,000 minutes played. He is unbelievable for the Tilbury Bluebirds, and he'll be quite a spectacle to watch come playoff time as well. But he's having an unbelievable season. You have Matt Sagrod at Tillsonburg with 9 wins, Colin Dunn with 9 wins. Zach Weir 7 and 2 on the season with a shutout. Darren Smith at 6-0, quite possibly one of the better goalie tandems in the league alongside Jesse Raymond and Matt Sagrod for Tillsonburg, obviously. But again, we'll see what happens with them. It'll be a great matchup on Saturday when Tillsonburg hosts the Stratford Fighting Irish. This is, of course, their second game of the weekend as they play Strathroy Jets first come the weekend, which we'll actually get to right now. We can tee up for our weekend schedule. So Tillsonburg will travel to Strathroy this upcoming Friday night. It's in Strathroy at the Gemini Sportsplex, and the game goes at 7:30. On Saturday, you have we have our first game of the weekend, which is Plattsville visiting Alvinston. That goes at 6:30 at the BAICC complex. Our second game is Tillsonburg hosting the Stratford Fighting Irish. That'll be a dandy matchup there. And then on Sunday, the weekend wraps. We only have 4 games this weekend. It's the Plattsville Lakers hosting the Alora Rocks at 3:30 Plattsville Arena on Sunday. So yeah, guys, definitely going to be a lot of fun here as the games ratchet up and get more competitive. The games will be tougher to win, no question, coming down the stretch, and it'll be so much fun to watch. If the playoffs were to start today, our matchups would be as follows. You'd have Tilbury going up against Aaron in the first round. Stratford would play Alvinston. That'd be an unbelievable series. Those two teams just hate each other, and every time they play each other, it's always a lot of fun to watch. Tillsonburg would play Plattsville in the first round, and then you'd have the Alora Rocks and the Strathroy Jets, 2 teams that just push each other to the limits. They had a lot of classic games last year, and we would expect more this year, but boy, those teams would really, really go at each other, and that could be one of the most exciting playoff matchups in the first round. Whoever would survive, of course, would get a heck of a second round matchup, but still, it'd be a fun 7-game series to watch Alora and Strathroy strap up the gloves and really go to town. Boy, what a matchup that would be. So yeah, guys, without further ado, we're going to introduce our guest on this week's edition of the Western Ontario Super Hockey League podcast, presented by Sleeman Breweries. And he is from the Tilbury Bluebirds. And he is right there in the thick of the scoring race. And his name is Travis Winkworth. We're back on the Western Ontario Super Hockey League podcast. We welcome in our guest on this week's edition. He is number 15 of the Tilbury Bluebirds, Travis Winkworth. Travis, it's great to have you come on. Thanks so much for doing this and joining the podcast, and welcome.
Oh, thanks for having me. Appreciate it. No, I've watched a couple of the other ones, so looking forward to getting on with you.
Yeah, this one's going to be a little bit different and a little bit odd because we're having some Zoom issues on my part, but we could see you, and like I said, it's great to have you on here. Let's talk about the season. You guys are playing unreal hockey. Like, you've really come in and done a lot better than maybe most expected, but you guys are just killing it. 16-3 at this point. You have the league's top record. What would you say has been the biggest reason for your success to this point?
Yeah, like I know we were a new team coming into the league this year, and I don't know if you felt like that, but after we did get to our team on paper, I think the boys felt pretty confident in what we could bring to this league and stuff like that. But I don't know, right from our back end, having Paulie come down from the university was obviously massively huge, and I can't say enough about our defense, man. We don't have like any weak defense, so I think that's the main part of our team. Honestly, it separates us from some other teams for sure. So,
how did this take me back a little bit, if you could, Travis? Like, how did this all kind of come apart, like come together for you? What was your process in coming in and joining Tilbury?
oh, it's kind of funny because when I seen it pop up, Tilbury Bluebirds Senior A, I was like, oh, like Tilbury, that's my hometown. You know, we've never had a junior C team when I've lived there. You know, they did have a few previously, obviously, but never when I was growing up there. You know, and I always loved the game and played for the AAA system in Chatham, stuff like that. Anyways, you know, I was debating whether to go out for camp and talk to another firefighter here in Chatham, and I know he went and skated with a couple teams last year. So he said he was going to go out. So I ended up deciding, got a message from another buddy, Eric Winter, you know, suggestion he was maybe going to go skate and stuff. And then once Eric told Deno that he got in contact with me, you know, Deno messaged me right away and he's like, hey man, like, we'd love to have you come out for the tryout and stuff like that. So like I said, I have 3 kids and a wife, and you know, they're both playing travel hockey this year, and my other daughter's in competitive dance. So crazy busy schedule, but you know, just hopped in, and after the first few skates, I just knew it was meant to be. So yeah, that's kind of how it all unfolded for myself anyways.
Well, it's worked out pretty good for you. You're one of the few. I'm not sure how many guys on your team has played in all games, but you haven't missed a game yet. So that's impressive. We got to point that out. And then obviously your point total is impressive as well. 13-20 for 33. You're in a tie for 4th in league scoring. What would you say has been your biggest attribute to your success from a points perspective? Is it the guys you're playing with and clicking with them, or is it something maybe you're doing specifically?
No, I always, even in junior, I always thought I was more of a playmaker and stuff like that. But yeah, you're probably right. Like our top 6, top 9 forwards are all interchangeable. And like some of the guys I've had the opportunity to play with are just incredible. Like you mentioned, Deno earlier, you know, you've been in contact quite a bit with them, and the numbers he's putting up are absolutely insane. Playing guys like him, Slava, Teals, Crevier, LeBlanc, like Hughes, Lawrence, like everybody's got some unique skill on our team up front, and it's just been great, and lucky enough I have a chance to play with guys like that. So.
Well, and that's just it. Yeah, Denemy, obviously 47 points in 17 games. When I talked to him, I messaged him. I said, dude, it's like kind of like you're playing Be a Pro on rookie, and everyone else is stuck in All-Star. You know what I mean? Like, it's just it's kind of wild to watch. But like as a teammate, obviously you get a nice little front row view of him playing. Like, what impresses you so much about his game?
Well, honestly, like his biggest thing is hockey IQ, right? He sees the ice so well. He's not an overly fast skater. I do think he is fast when he gets going, but I mean, he uses patience, and he knows where guys are on his line. Yeah, but that's like the smallest part of Deno, honestly, man. That he's one of the best leaders I've ever had the chance to play with, and I can tell why he's been in championships and won championships before and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, it's like I say, it's worked out pretty well for him. And like I say, big point total, and obviously Slava and yourself and Mitch Van Teeling, you guys are putting up big numbers, and it's obviously led to your success as a team. And then yeah, like you talked a little bit about Ryan, like Polidori, like he's been absolutely outstanding. He's played in all but 2 games that you guys have played this year, put up 14 wins. There has to be a level of confidence though for you guys as a team playing in front of a guy like that. Can you speak a little bit about that?
Yeah, definitely. We do have some rushing defensemen and stuff like that. So I think they rely on him a little bit too for making some big 2-on-1, 3-on-2 saves and stuff like that. But yeah, for being whatever 21, the maturity level on him and like how he's what he's brought to this team is just it's really awesome. So
yeah, and like I say, he's a great guy. It's like off the ice as well, and that's what like you love to see it, And it's obviously he's putting up some great numbers, and he's been a real stabling force back there for you guys. Let's talk a little bit about the season in general, because obviously, yeah, like you guys have played Alvinston 6 times, and you've absolutely took them to the woodshed. Like it's been impressive what you guys have done against them. Like what has led to that? Like what would you say has been the recipe there for success against the Killer Bees? Because yeah, you guys have put up some big numbers.
Yeah, the first game we played in Alvinston, I don't know if you seen the highlights or whatever from it, but it was a tight game. We came back and won that game, and we're actually
the 7-6 overtime game, right?
I don't think it was that high.
It
was 4-3 or something like that.
No, yeah, you're right. 4-3. It was like the overtime one, right? Is it the overtime or the one you scored?
We scored 15 seconds left or something like that. And
yeah, I remember.
Yeah, so that was a good game. That lineup they had was probably the strongest lineup we faced right against them.
Yeah,
I mean, if they brought their top skaters, top 4 lines in 6D, like they have a solid team on paper. Unfortunately, they got attendance problems and stuff like that, and don't have guys as quite as interchangeable as we do, right? So I think they've done a good job, honestly, of improving their team this year. And you can see, a team with 1 year experience, how you add a couple pieces each year. And, I think the other new teams are going to do that as well next year, right? So I think the league's only going to get better and better, which is just great. I
agree with that. The expansion has been quite interesting to watch this year, and it's been exciting watching the new teams come in and have success. Well, let's talk on the flip side of that. Like you played Strathroy 4 times, or however many, I think it's maybe 3 or 4 times. But again, your success against them has been on the other side of the table. It seems like for whatever reason they have your number. What's up with that?
Yeah. I don't know what's kind of going on there. They do have, obviously, they have a really strong team, and I don't think their record reflects their hockey team. But
I agree.
They have some nights they play with 10 guys and stuff like that, right? So that gets tough. And if you have a double header, and they actually have 2 players that barely played any games, and if they hop in playoffs, that's going to be interesting, right? So
yeah,
like I said, they're a good team, and we seem to just get our number. And I don't know. I guess if we end up facing them in playoffs, we're going to have to figure that out.
Well, and that's just it, right? Playoffs are going to be so much fun. Obviously, you guys have 5 games remaining. You don't play again until you play the Strathroy Jets at the Gemini Sportsplex on February the 3rd. That's your next contest. But again, like I say, any team can beat any team on any given night. It's just, I think it's going to be so much fun come playoff time when those games really, really matter. Like best on best, I think that's going to be where the true test lies, because the truth of the matter is you guys also haven't played the defending champs yet. Like that's got to be kind of intriguing to you.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, kind of disappointed we didn't get a shot to go down there this year, but maybe they'll change up things next year, or I don't know. I've heard of expansion teams as well, but I've seen some of their scores and stuff like that, and some of the highlights and that. So looking forward to if we do have to face them in playoffs. So
yeah, I'd like to say I'm not sure how much you're in tune with, like I say, with the rest of what's happening, or if you just solely focus on what's happening in Tilbury. But is, as someone who is in tune with like a lot of the other happenings, like it's just been such an exciting year. It's been such an exciting time for WOSHL in year 2, and I bet it'll only continue to get better. I guess what is the hope down the stretch for you guys? Is it a matter of maintaining health, getting that number 1 seed? I mean, teams don't travel well in this league, we know that. But what is your hope for the rest of the season? And then obviously, what's the goal for playoffs? Is it just Sleeman Cup or bust at this point?
I mean, obviously, as you know, we're losing Deno, and hopefully maybe going to get him back in if we proceed to like second and third rounds in playoffs possibly. But obviously, this is going to be the toughest portion of our regular season schedule here coming up. So, I mean, it could do one of two things. It can get us hot going into playoffs. I mean, I know these games are, we can possibly finish 4th, I think, or 3rd still. So, I mean, all these games are huge, and we definitely have had some ups and downs with injuries too, as well, and some attendance issues also. So, I mean, it's going to come down to the boys and who wants to show up, basically, right? So
yeah, well, and that's just it, right? It's like I say, when the games matter, attendance is crucial, and you got to have everybody buy in at that point. Like you said, with your schedule, I mean, you got 2 against Strathroy, 2 against Stratford. Those will be good games, and then a game against Tillsonburg as well in there. And again, you got these teams fighting to get into that top spot. Stratford's right there. They're 4 points behind. They've played 2 less games. Tillsonburg, they've only played a league low 15. They're at 26. Alora's at 26. Any one of those teams can finish first, no question. But home ice is just going to be so crucial. And I think that's a big deal. Let's talk about home ice, because obviously playing in front of the Tilbury fans, that has to have been kind of nice. I mean, what's it like for you playing in front of the Tilbury home crowd?
Yeah, I can't say enough about Tilbury right now and some of the support we've received. Averaging 500 fans a night in a small town like that it's been awesome. And like I told you before, I grew up there, never got to see that kind of thing. We had that juvenile night with like over 1,000 people. Like, I've only seen Tilbury Arena like that once or twice prior in my life. So, I mean, that was a night I'll never forget. And like Woodcraft, huge sponsor for us. They feed the boys after the game, and we get a little bar, hang out. So it's been great. And I'm just really happy for the town of Tilbury, and can't thank them enough. So.
And one of the last few questions I want to ask you here is just about kind of what it's been like for you to come into this league. Like, did you have any really expectations? Like, is there anything that surprises you about this league or stands out?
Not really. Not just the fact that, it's like a group of, a good gap of ages, right? You got guys from 21 to 45, all different roads of hockey and stuff like that, and all just want to play competitive games, right? Sometimes you get stuck in those beer leagues and everybody's chirping you, you're going too hard and stuff like this. Well, it's if that's the kind of hockey you want to play, and I feel like that's a group we have, right? It's it's a bunch of good guys, good camaraderie, and they just want to compete with each other, right? And it's you just become a small family, and it's just great all around. And I'm sure other teams are just like that as well. So
yeah, team harmony and team bonds are everything to a team's success, and obviously there must be quite a bit of harmony in the dressing room if you guys are 16-3. Final question I want to ask you, Trav. You've been probably playing hockey your whole life. If you could trace it back for me, like, who would you say is your biggest influence, or who would you say you would owe your hockey success to?
Yeah, I obviously have to give that one to my parents. They've been through a lot in their lives, and they continue to support me and stuff like that. I don't think they missed a home game this year. So, I mean, it's just been awesome. And they obviously drove me all around Ontario for AAA hockey as a youth and followed me through the junior ranks. And my dad was pretty good hockey player himself and stuff like that. So he showed me the ropes as a young guy, and just continued on like that. So
Right on, man. Well said. Well said. We've been speaking with number 15, Travis Winkworth of the Tilbury Bluebirds, tied for fourth in scoring, and he's obviously a member of the league leaders in the WOSHL standings. 16-3, the Tilbury Bluebirds, 32 points. They're next on the ice February 3rd in Strathroy against the Jets. Travis, it's been a pleasure speaking with you. I appreciate the accommodation with the settings here on Zoom and going with the punches. I appreciate that, and it's always been a pleasure having you on here. And best of luck the rest of the way.
All right. Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate it, man. It was fun. We'll talk soon.
Okay, I want to thank once again Travis Winkworth for coming on to the WOSHL podcast this week and being our guest on the podcast. It was great to speak with him, and best of luck, obviously, to the Bluebirds the rest of the way. They've been pretty spectacular so far to this point in the season. Want to thank Sleeman Breweries for sponsoring the podcast. As always, really appreciate their support. Let's go over the schedule once again, guys, this upcoming weekend. The Thunder visit Strathroy Friday, January the 20th, 7:30, Gemini Sportsplex. Thunder at 13-2, while the Jets at 10-8. You have the Plattsville Lakers traveling to Alvinston to take on the Alvinston Killer Bees. Lakers 5-13-1, Killer Bees at 4-14-1, trying to jostle for that sixth spot in the WOSHL standings. You have the Stratford Fighting Irish at 14-3, visiting the 13-2 Tillsonburg Thunder, who will be playing their second in 2 days. And that one goes at 7:30, Tillsonburg Community Center. And then our final game of the weekend, Sunday, January 22nd, 3:30 at the Plattsville Arena. Plattsville Lakers hosting the Alora Rocks at 12-4-2, trying to maintain their positioning in the WOSHL standings. It'll be a great weekend, as always, in the WOSHL, and really do appreciate you guys tuning in. Enjoy the WOSHL All-Star Game as well, the virtual All-Star Game that goes on Friday at 5:30 on YouTube. And that'll be fun, a simulated WOSHL game, and that'll come up right before the Strathroy Jets and the Tillsonburg Thunder. So make sure to check that out. That should be a lot of fun. I'm Andrew Rogers, the host. Thank you very much for tuning in, as always. Really appreciate your patience from not putting out a podcast last week and getting back on the road this week, and really do appreciate it. And thank you again for watching. Andrew Rogers signing off, and we'll see you guys again next week. Take care.